Hello, everybody. It is your hostess, Madam Hellfire, and we are back to finish the ASG receipt chain for the Cafe and Diner archives. Both of these are passworded, and I have no idea what the answers are, so we're gonna have to figure that one out using the wiki more than likely. First one for ASG04 is spring bed spots, and knowledge one is 3 words. I've got no idea, so let's go look. Clue 1, what word can go before all of these? Where are these code-named places? Just the last word would do. Oh, is it hot? Hot spring. I wouldn't have got that. Beach, Virginia, Angeles. Oh, I wouldn't have known that. Let's pop that in here. Submit. Okay, employee number 71 says, Shill was right. There are quite a few customers running things here behind the scenes, most notably Nibirius, a marquis of the Amaimon and a noble of Asmodeus's court. I'm less surprised that Shill was right and more surprised how deep this rabbit hole goes. Of course, I tried to have the CADCOM transcribe my conversation with Nibirius, but it came out corrupted. No doubt they're doing. Regardless, I will try to recall events as best as I can. I arrived at the club to set up a few protective sigils and chalk around the perimeter to keep Mr. Grey flipside. I had only just finished the first sigil before I was caught by Nibirius. I tried my best to feign ignorance, but that is easier said than done with a demon of their caliber. To be clear, I could probably take them if I had to. Then again, killing an Amaimon noble is low on my list of fun activities. Thankfully, this was an Amaimonian noble and not a Haunter Skaldian noble. That is to say, Nibirius was more than willing to simply talk like gentlefolk. And talk we did. Nibirius, of course, is very skilled in double, triple, and perhaps even quadruple talk. It's probably why they went through the trouble of corrupting the transcript. What information I was able to pull from them is that they are working on something flipside. Seems all the princes are making moves over here. Asmodeus seems to be setting up her own little operation, although it is much less coordinated than Padre's efforts. Perversion, helter-skelter, and other such events act as covers to let various demons of all denominations slip through into the flipside. From what Nibirius told me, these demons aren't sticking around and simply coming here to chat, make deals, and have fun. If that isn't the most watered-down cup of coffee you'll have this week, I don't know what is. In any case, I explained our situation to Nibirius, and they offered help. At a price, of course. They help keep Dorian Gray in one spot long enough for us to get the information we need from him, then we leave Nibirius and Asmodeus' operations alone. Not like we have much of a choice right now. I took the deal because, as far as I'm concerned, Satan is worse than his younger sister by a few degrees of magnitude. Not to mention, Nibirius could be telling the truth. Like I said, it was hard to follow their meaning and rhetoric. Dorian Gray had better be worth it. That, and I might just pass along this information to a particular masked shaman. We can't interfere, but maybe they'll take an interest, eh? Gotta keep the balance where we can. Yeah, that's definitely getting interesting, alright. Here's the very last one, and the password hint is rather wanton spell check to dandy desires. Who is Dorian Gray? Which person would you describe as having dandy desires? I have no goddamn idea. Just the title and last name. Lord Wotton. Lord Wotton is hedonistic, fulfilling his own desires, and his name sounds similar to wanton. I don't know if I would have ever gotten that. I'm not that bright, guys. I'm sorry. Alrighty, so here's what we have. This is from 1313, and is the very last one we've got for this chain. It says, well, I guess it was a success or whatever. I had loads of fun, and also having a fake ID rocks. I highly recommend it. And we did run into Dorian or whatever. He's kind of cute, but not really my type. Plus, he's probably like super old or whatever, right? I'm still not totally sure how demon ages work. He looked like 20-ish, but he's gotta be like, what, 200-ish? Yuck. Besides, I've already got my eye on someone else, but that's a secret. I had Shilly do the transcription whatever thingy, so hopefully it transcribed everything right. It was kind of hard to hear of the music. And here's the start of the transmission. Mr. Gray? Mr. Gray? Excuse me, are you Mr. Dorian Gray? I'm sorry, what? Like the book? Oh, come on, Dorian. No need to be surprised. This is a safe place, right? Plenty of other demons around. If I was Dorian Gray, what would you want from me? What would Dorian Gray know about Padre Santos over at the Open Doors Church? Santos? Never heard of him. Prince of Hell Santos? Pretty sure you two had a fling. Oh, he's here, like now? Yes, and that's why we need to. Dorian Gray left the CAD transcription range. He fled towards the nearest hallway, frantically checking the walls for something. Dorian? Dorian, what's the rush, buddy? Where are all the pictures? Huh? Pictures. On the walls? There are usually pictures here. Where are they? Oh, those. Kind of dusty, don't you think? We took them out to get cleaned. Dorian Gray pulled out what appeared to be a small Polaroid from his breast pocket and began to mutter something below the vocal frequency range of the CADCOM transcribing system. Why can't I leave? You can leave, friend. Anytime you want. You just need to tell us a bit about your ex, that's all. I shouldn't. Listen, we got off on the wrong foot, clearly. How about you go buy yourself a drink and we just relax a bit? Buy myself a drink. Yeah, sorry about that. These fake IDs only go back to 77. If you want the hard stuff, you're gonna have to buy it yourself. Unless you'd rather go grab a cup of coffee. No, I think a drink is well in order. The Cad and Dorian Gray relocated to a quieter corner after procuring 2 non-alcoholic drinks and 1 stiff drink for Dorian Gray. Now, how about, why don't you let her talk, huh? All night it's been your grating voice. He is kind of right. Your voice does get grating after a while. Wow. Truth hurts, huh, 53? Anyway, we want to know about Padre Santos. What about him? Right. We need to know about his book. Right, his, book thing. Do you know about that? The Dark Lord has penned many books in his time. I found most of them to be rather droll. However, his later experimental works were interesting character studies, in my humble opinion. His contract book, specifically. Oh, that old thing. I've never gotten to see it myself, what with me not actually being one of his prize contract demons. There's not much to know about his little black book, is there? Demons write their names in it, and in exchange, they get a certain amount of powers and conditions to abide by. And what about his other contract book? Other? Now that's interesting. Why would you think he has more than 1 contract book? I'm not sure, really. It was info we picked up from an unknown source. And that makes you think there are 2 contract books. Well, unknown to me at least. We're pretty confident he has 3 names in it. The Hat Man, Red Man, and Mothman. Mothman? Here also? Well, it has been a fun chat, but I would really love to get going if you could just let me. Not until you spill it, pretty boy. Other book. What is it? Why are those 3 in it? Oh, you are a scary one, aren't you? I really don't know much about it, I swear to you. I know it exists and not much else. It probably functions similar to his black book without all the limitations and servitude clauses if I had to guess. Basically, they write their name in it and they get a piece of the Dark Lord's power in exchange for some sort of service. And how is that different, really? When a demon, or the lucky few humans, sign their name in his black book, they get a fraction of the Haunter Skull's power, not the Dark Lord's. In return, they have a strict set of rules laid out for them that allows them to traverse between hell and earth with relative ease. The Red Book, and again, I can only make assumptions, gives a fraction of the Dark Lord's powers directly with no explicit rules for how it is used. To know any more than that, you would need to talk with somebody who has signed their name in the book, which would not be me. Now, if you would just names? If I don't even know what the book does exactly, how would I know whose names are in it? Why don't you go chat up the Mothman if you're so curious? Come on, Dorian. You were a consort of Padre. You have to at least have an inkling of who's in it. Tell us that, then we'll grab your portrait and you're free to go. I really couldn't tell you. Well, we hope you enjoy LA. Come on, show. Let's go. Wait, Tom might know something. Was that so hard, Dorian? 53 and 1313 took Dorian to his portrait, and after touching it, he was no longer in range of the catcom system. Are we just gonna leave his portrait here? Yeah, wait, why? I don't know. He was kind of cute, and the cafe could use some more art, don't you think? So you're suggesting we steal it? Yes. Yeah, sure. Why not? End of transcript. And that's why, if you go in the staff bathroom, you'll see the portrait of Dorian Gray. Don't worry, I copied 71 sigils around the frame, so he should be stuck in the other side for the time being. I think I did the sigils right anyway. Although, based on his reaction to Padre and Pleasant being here, I think he's probably happy to stay on the other side for the time being. Can't say he was too helpful, but at least we know who to look for next. Some old guy named Tom Walker. When I agreed to help with this whole cryptid and demon chasing thing, I kinda thought I wouldn't have to read so much. And that is the very end of this particular receipt chain. I find it very fascinating that we get a bit of a peek into Dorian here. There wasn't a whole lot of dealings regarding actual cryptids, but it was interesting to know that he was terrified of Padre being around, or Satan being around, but he became even more scared when Mothman was mentioned. So that tells me Mothman is very much a powerful being, along with having power from Satan directly. That is a bad combo from what I can tell. And with that, we close this chapter, or at least this receipt chain, and we'll go on to the next one next week. I'll see you then. Sweet nightmares. I just wanted to take the time to thank my Patreons and channel members. Your support is so appreciated. If you are not a channel member or Patreon and you would like to become one, there's a link in the description below. All channel members and Patreons receive 24 hours early access to all content posted on both of my channels. And all Patreons or channel members of the $10 Hellhound tier can request one horror-related video or stream topic, or one horror-related game that I play on my live streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel and the content that I make.